We're now moving on to another section now where we're going to start looking at reference details, i.e. we're going to look at how references work in more detail. Now you'll notice I've closed the reference palette to give me a bit more screen space, because what I'm going to be doing here is bringing references in both as attachments and overlays, and I want to show you how they work. I've got the drawing attachments complete open. If you want to follow along, you want to open up attachments.dwg from your working files. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach two reference files, the same reference files that we've been using, topography and the footprint. So I'm going to go up to attach here, and that will bring up select reference file. Now I'm going to go to the right folder, so that's my reference details there, into the drawings folder, and I'm going to attach the topography first. So I click on open, and we've been through this before, where the attach external reference dialog box comes up. Now let's look at this in a little bit more detail. I want these to be attachment references. That's what this video is all about. We'll look at overlays in the next video. Now the scale, as we did before, uniform scale of 1 for everything, so that's everything full size. And the insertion point I'm going to leave at 0, 0 and 0. Path type, again, is relative path. So that means that this topography XREF drawing is in the same folder as the current drawing. Rotation, again, unticked and the angle at 0 and the block unit millimeters. Now the important bit we need to think about here is what reference type it is, attachment. I'm going to show you how that works. So when I click on OK now, you can see the topography comes in. I'm also going to attach the footprint, which is in the same folder there, and I'll click on open. All the settings remain the same. I'll make sure the scale is uniform, and I'll make sure that it's an attachment. Click on OK. That's in the drawing as well. Now those have gone onto the XREFs layer, which I checked earlier before I started the video, so they've all gone on the XREFs layer. Now if I zoom out a little bit, you can see those references quite happily in the model tab there. What happens if I now reference this drawing into another drawing? What will happen to those XREFs? Now if I look at my layer list, let's go to the Layer Properties Manager here for a moment. The Layer Properties Manager will display not only the regular layers, but it will also display the reference layers. So if I scroll down, there you go, Topography Contours, Footprint Foundation, Concrete Raft. So it's showing me the XREF layers with a dash and then the layer name. So there's the XREF name, and then a dash, and then the layer name that's in the XREF. And if I go here, you can see there's my XREF. So if I click there on the Footprint Foundation one, it's there and it's there like so. So I've got all that information available to me. So I can obviously check I've got unreconciled layers. So at the moment, if I go there, it's still showing me all the layers. That's because I haven't reconciled those layers yet. Not a problem. We'll reconcile them later when we get to that in the course. But you can see that we've got extra layers there. I'm just going to close the Layer Properties Manager down. I just wanted to show you that those layers were there. My Attachments Complete drawing can stay here open. It doesn't have to be closed. But what I'm going to do is open up a new drawing file. So I'm going to go to New. And what will happen now is obviously the startup dialog will kick in because I use that in AutoCAD. I'm going to start with a basic metric drawing. Start from scratch, metric, and OK it. So that'll open up a new blank drawing. So the only layer in that drawing should be layer 0. So what we need to think about now is referencing in our Attachments Complete drawing. So I go to the Insert tab here. I go to Attach. And I'm in my folder. I want Attachments Complete there, like so. I click on Open. And I'm going to reference that in as a reference file. All the settings will remain the same. Attachment, scale, as we did before, make it a uniform scale. Path type, I'll make that relative as well. Current drawing must be saved before attaching an XREF with a relative path. The XREF will be assigned a full path. Now that's because I've left this as drawing2.dwg. I'll cancel that and we need to do a save. I want to use a relative path so that it all uses the same folder. So drawing 2, we will do a save as on it. So we'll do a save as, we'll just call it reference and click on save. So this is our reference drawing and I'll save it again up here just to be on the safe side. Now when I do an attachment and I put Attachments Complete in there like that, click on open, set all the scale and everything like we've done before, I can do a relative path this time and it will let me because it's been saved as a name drawing. So if I click on OK now, that'll bring all of that into the drawing. If I double click and zoom out, you can see that that's a reference. But where are my other references? Where have they gone? So what we need to check here is how do they work? Where are they? So let's just hit escape there for a second and go back to attachments complete. I need to save that drawing there and then go back to my reference file here. Now it tells me that the reference file has changed. If I click there, that information comes through. So what I've done there is I've referenced a reference. These ones here, whilst they are references, they're all part of the same reference now. That's because they were an attachment reference type. So I've been able to reference a reference, and the original reference drawings have come through into the new reference drawing. That's because they were an attachment reference type. Remember that when we move on to the next video and I show you what an overlay reference does.